Good morning and welcome. I'm Celeste and this is my FlossTube channel, Celeste Creates. I believe this is FlossTube number 11 and this today is going to be a whip parade. So today I'm filming in a little bit different corner of my sewing. It's not the game room. I don't have the whole game room, but this is my corner of the game room, or my slice of the game room. And so I am coming to you from this little area. Because I have right here my new basket that has all my whip bags in it. And so I thought it would be fun to sit here with a little bit different view and pull from my basket here and show you what I've got as far as whips goes. I just actually redid some of this yesterday. I can turn the camera just a little bit here. You can see what's on this table. This is an old stereo cabinet that was in my mom's, or was in my house growing up. Piece of Ethan Allen furniture, and it has some accordion doors down here. And we used to have our record player and our stereo in here, and you could lift this top up and get to the record player. Anyway, so I got that, and it's just a fabulous piece of furniture for all my craft storage. So I've always had these wire baskets on top, and yesterday I was telling my friend Christy I made a transition. I used to have two baskets up here with my Bonnie and Camille fabrics in them. I can insert a picture here. And Bonnie and Camille fabrics were some of the first fabrics I fell in love with when I first started quilting. And I still do like them, but I'm just not as drawn to the designs as much anymore. And while I still buy some here and there, I just don't have as much anymore, and it's not my go-to when I'm quilting. Lori Holt has made a vintage and scrap quilter out of me, and so really I love accessing all my colors, but my favorite fabrics that are my go-to fabrics when I'm making a quilt, doesn't matter which, doesn't have to be a Lori Holt quilt, any quilt are my Lori Holt fabrics. And so I used 3 of my baskets, and I transitioned. Here's all my reds and greens and a few grays up here of my Lori Holt fabric. And let's see what we got here. We got pinks and yellows and oranges. And here I have blues and browns, and the only problem is no, there's 2 problems. First problem is I don't have another bin. I might have to find one. I don't remember where I got these particular bins, but I don't have another bin for all the whites. And I also don't have enough room for the new bundle I'm expecting soon. So I did that. I keep all my Lori Holt books back here because they're my favorites and I love to see them displayed. And then just yesterday when I went to get our groceries, this was when I found this really cool basket. So let's see, I'm gonna switcheroo here, put this basket so I can reach it a little bit better. And I'll put my Lori fabrics over here. And I'm going to turn the camera back just a bit. I had to pause the camera because my little transition was not going to be as smooth as it needed to be. I guess you can see right there also I have my floss on this little hooked hanger that I bought on Amazon. So I have has like a little shelf, and then I have a bunch of hooks, and like DMCs are grouped by number category. So these are the 3800s that I have. I have a lot more DMC, but as I pull them out of my bobbin box, I put them on cards, and so these are all the ones that have been pulled. And then I have one big hook here that has the overdyes that are not being used right now. So there's the Gentle Arts, and the Weeks, and all my classic colorworks. So those are my overdyes. I have a lot more, but they're in bags. So that's where I keep that. And actually, the next time I go to Hobby Lobby, if you watched Brenda Cereal Starter's home tour that she did recently, when she was down in her sewing area, her stitching area, I guess maybe that's her basement. We don't have basements here. That there was, she had a bunch of her floss hanging on a pegboard, and it was so cute because she had a sign that I had seen. I actually have one of the signs. It's from Hobby Lobby, and I have the one that says wash on it. And she had the one, it's meant for the bathroom, but it says floss, and she had it hanging above all her floss, and I thought, oh, next time I go to Hobby Lobby, I really need to get that. So thanks for the inspiration, Brenda. So here we are in this little corner of my game room. Someday I'll give you a little tour. Maybe next time I do my next quilty tube, I'll give you a tour of what's in my sewing area, because this is mainly my sewing area. I do some stitching here and I store things here, but this is pretty much my quilting section of the game room. The rest is a mess. All right, so I know this is nothing new, but I know I have enjoyed seeing everybody's WIP parade so far and their plans for the new year. So today is not going to be an update. Today is going to be a WIP parade before the end of the year. And we're going to go through this fabulous basket. Oh yeah, I was telling you, I found this basket. Our main grocery store chain in this area is Kroger. So I found this basket. We have a big Kroger, and I found it yesterday in the home section for 50% off. So I think it was like a $23 one, and it was $11.50. So I thought this, I saw it and thought this would be perfect for holding all those WIPs that aren't being worked on right now. Because they were just kind of shoved in a corner down here. They kind of fall over, and I'd have to sort through them. So anyway, that was perfect. Glad I got it. So with that, let's start pulling out some WIPs here. We're just going to go one by one and see what's in here, because sometimes I forget. This is how I don't forget anymore. Another little tip from Brenda were these, here, I'll go ahead and pull the first one. These circle, they're key tags. Just from the Office Supply or Amazon. My husband already had some, and so I took them. He wasn't using them, and it's really nice. I just write on here in pencil so that I could probably reuse it, erase it and reuse it for another project bag, but I can write on these what's in it, because it really is daunting sometimes to look at all the projects and think, I have no idea what's in that bag. All right, so first one, here's my this is probably my favorite Bonnie and Camille fabric line, which is called April Showers. And so I made myself a project bag out of it. And in this project bag is a beautiful chart that I saw Lisa from Mischievous Stitches had been working on this, and I fell in love with it and decided I had to have it. So this is called Southern Land from Owl Forest Embroidery. Again, I don't have a color printer, so you get to see my black and white. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous pattern. There's some rush in there. So this was a download, so I bought that, and Christy bought it too, and we started it together. Christy from Crosshatch Quilts. And it calls for their, I guess they have their own line of floss, or it had a DMC conversion, but Christy helped me, and we, I always have thread, either on my shirt, in my hair. Christy and I, actually she did all the work, she picked out, and I agreed, 4 overdyes to do ours. I know Lisa is doing hers. So Lori is doing hers in the DMC, and it's beautiful. But we picked out 4 colors: Buckeye Scarlet, Copper, Fathom, so pretty, and Chesapeake Bay. So these are the only 4 colors. I'm sure I'll need more at some point. And then here is my progress. It really is beautiful. Look at that. That's the fathom. I'm going to pause here for just a second and go get my calendar so that I can tell you some more details. Okay, I'm back. This is my calendar. It's a 5-year monthly calendar, and this is where I've been keeping track of my starts and finishes and what I work on each day. And so I'm going to have to back up. Sorry, hold, please, because I will find it here. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, there we go. I started this in August of this past year, and this is on platinum, 36 count platinum, and I showed you the colors. Definitely want to get back to this one. To me, it's very, with the red and blue, it's patriotic. I love red and blue. Those are my favorite colors. So definitely want to get back to this one. I have to sit down and figure out when I'm going to get that back into what month I want to stitch that on. All right, next. Another little bag I made for myself. This one's a little bit smaller, so it's good for small projects. This is one that I plan to get back to this spring because I love it. Manor at Quaker Hill. Brenda just finished hers and I love it. Love, love, love it. So Manor at Quaker Hill. And I am using all the called for. I think there's some missing because I stole them for a current project, but those are some of the flosses. I love that lettuce leaf. That is so cool. Beautiful colors. So all the called for floss on Manor at Quaker Hill by Brenda Gervais with my needle and thread. And let's see, this is on 36 count French Vanilla by R&R. Love French Vanilla. And there's my little start. So beautiful. I'm really excited to get back to this one. After seeing Brenda's finish, it was really beautiful. So maybe this will be a springtime. Forgive the no ironing. They're coming out of the project bag just as they are. So definitely want to get back to that one. I love it. That one is gorgeous. French Vanilla is actually, I think right now my favorite linens are R&R. I really like those a lot. Okay, that's 2. Number 3. Uh-oh, I don't have a tag on this one. Another bag. This was some cute fabric I'd used in a fall quilt. Love those crows. This one I set aside this fall because I really just was not having fun with it. This is by Prairie Schooler. This is Autumn Leaves. I'm making the big one here. And at this point in my stitching journey, I'm just not a huge Prairie Schooler fan yet. Will that change? Maybe. So here's all my, probably not all of my DMC because I probably had to steal some. So there's all my DMC. I just had to put it away because I wasn't having the best time. But I've made a lot of progress and definitely we'll come back to this September or October and finish it up, and I will love having it displayed for next fall. So that'll be kind of fun. I remember somebody saying, you know, it's okay to go ahead and put this away, and then next fall or whenever, what season you want to work on it, it'll be there, and oh look, I've only got a little bit left to finish, so that'll be fun. Let me see if I can tell you about this one. That's my dog. That's Doug. So this is 36 count, just Zweigart raw natural, and I used all the called for DMC. And unless I say all of these are stitched 1 strand of floss over 2 linen threads, I really like stitching 1 over 2, as many people do. So that I will get back to. I was having a hard time being inspired by it. And it needs a tag. All right, that was 3. Number 4, this is a project bag that my friend Casey made for me before we went on a Lori Holt quilt retreat several years ago. Gosh, 4 years ago? 3 years ago? It's before we flooded. Anyway, she made this for me to take all my quilting tools in. Oh, Summer Schoolhouse by Brenda Gervais. So let's see what's in here. I started this a long time ago and kind of struggled with it because it was supposed to be over 1, and I really didn't want to do over 1. Anyway, I have not worked on this one in a very long time, so I don't have plans to do all of these. This is Summer Schoolhouse. This is lesson 1. I really just wanted to do this one with the house, unless sometime I decide to do it otherwise. So that's that one. And I think, yes, I'm doing this with some of the DMC and some that I made some changes. So yes, I do like those, but this one just hasn't called to me in a very long time. But I think it's going to be really pretty. Now that I look at it, I think, oh yeah, I really need to get back to that. So this I started back in June. And this is 36 count vintage homespun by R&R, and it's DMC conversion that I kind of did. So I didn't get very far, but I do like it. Now that I look at it, I like it. I may go for when I pick it back up, I may go for a darker yellow on that house. That's not too much. That would not be too much to pick out and choose something else. Maybe, because I started this back when I didn't have very much over-dyed floss. I had really told myself I wasn't going to get into that. I was going to be happy using DMC, but you know, 100 and something skeins of over-dyed floss later. Here we go. So that's number 4, Summer Schoolhouse by Brenda Gervais. Let's see, another little bag I made, kind of short and long. This is the fabric that I have my ironing board covered in from Lori Holt. It's a decorator weight fabric, and I used the last bit of it to make a project bag. So this is super pretty. I started this in June too. So I have all 3 pieces of this. This is the 3rd chart. Sampler, I don't do French, Bouquet by Hardin Privé. I did Spanish, not French. So I'm going to stitch all 3 of these on a long band of fabric. They're really pretty, and I love the colors. And so then this, I think this is why the WIP Parade, I mean, it's fun for all of y'all to watch, but it's as I'm doing this, I'm realizing it's good for me because I'm taking out these projects and seeing, oh, I really still like this. I really want to work on this. This is not something, as I pull it out, I'm not getting the vibe of, I don't want to do this. So I am using the called for DMCs, which really are lovely. I might be missing 1 or 2 because I had to borrow. They're really pretty. So I'm doing that, and I'm doing this on 36 count Winter Moon, so you can see I cut myself a nice long piece, so it's really going to be beautiful. And started on that 3rd piece, still got my needle in there, and didn't get a ton done before I stopped. But it's really pretty. It's got some Quaker elements to it and some pretty motifs, and I need to get back to this. So that is Sampler Aux, A-U-X. Anybody want to tell me how to say that? Aux Bouquet. It's a 3-part chart, and this is by Hardin Privé, and that's 36 count Winter Moon. I like it. It's super pretty. You have a fun springtime one to work on. Stitch in the season. Okay, that was what? That was 5. Is this 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6. Another project bag I made for myself. This was some fabric from years and years ago that I used on a little quilt, and the fabric was by a moda designer called Chamois. And there's the pink colorway on the inside. And this is actually one of the first projects I started, and I don't have the full chart in here because it's a bigger chart. And so I started this. This was right after, I'm gonna say this is right after market. So I bought this and started it on March 23rd. This is called AH to EE, and it's by Nativity Berry. I'll link all these below so that you can go find them. And I think hers is done in a black or a greenish black. I don't really remember what it called for, but I did a little bit of work and I found a blue I love because I wanted to do it in blue, and I've still got a needle in here. But this is 36 count vintage country mocha, and I picked the one color is Classic Colorworks Wavy Navy. Beautiful variegation, beautiful color. Absolutely love it. I made a mistake somewhere here in the E, so I have it to, you know, I had to stitch the tree, and anyway, you know how it goes. But I didn't redo it because I don't think I noticed my mistake until I got way up here to the tree, and the mistake was down here. So anyway, it is beautiful. I will definitely get back to that. This is my only Quaker, I think, but it's beautiful. All right, keep it going, Celeste. You can do this. Okay, that's a floss tag I could use for something else. Don't really need it on that one. So that was, I'm really bad at keeping count. 6, 7. This is a beautiful bag from my sweet, sweet dear friend that I've met through FlossTube here, Bonnie, Log Cabin Stitcher, and she made this beautiful bag for me, and I just love it. Her workmanship is gorgeous. So that was a sweet gift. Hi, Bonnie. This, I love this. Oh, I love this chart. I need to get back to. This is Martha Davies, 1830 by Chessie and Me. Fell in love with the colors, the house. It is just really beautiful. I started this one. Oh, they're so patient with me flipping through stuff here. I started this one in May, and I think I have stolen a few colors from here too, but the colors are just to die for. Look at this. I mean, how could you not love that? There's a few missing, I think. So those are the colors. Those are the called for Classic Colorworks. And I started this one, like I said, in May, and this is 36 count Abyssinian by R&R, and that's as far as I've gotten. Look at that alphabet. I started on some of the over one alphabet down here. Look how beautiful those colors are. So really, I think I'm very close to the bottom. Yeah, that blue. This is the over one alphabet right here in blue. So I'm really close to getting down here to the rest of that. And of course there's a there is a needle and floss still here. Tuck that in there, but it's beautiful. I love it. I would like that to be a finish soon. The over one's not too bad. All right, Martha Davies, 1830 by Chessie and Me. Love it. I've been thinking about that one a lot lately. That might be fun to, not too far that I couldn't finish that one. Okay. 7. Oh. I'll get the unedited kind today. And another bag I made for myself with some of my very favorite Lori Holt fabric. This is from one of her early lines called Vintage Happy. Vintage Happy? Yeah. And I love it. And this has got a very lovely, oh, love this chart. This is an Auriol, 1841. Beautiful sampler with some Catholic, it's French and some Catholic motifs in it that I love. The altar and the tabernacle. Some other pretty things on here. You know, the candles. What else is there? It says IHS right there. That's letters for Christ. So it's just beautiful. Jesus, it says Jesus, Mary, and Joseph up here. So I started this one, April, March, June. Y'all are just gonna get the, where did I start it? Oh, there we go. I did not start this till August. I thought I started this much sooner. Maybe I had it kitted up sooner. So this is being stitched on just 36 count Zweigart flax, and I have a very pitiful start. There it is. There's the center of the tabernacle with the ciborium in it, and that be it. Gotta work on this one. Colors are beautiful. I think most of them are here. The palette is so bright. I think there's a few missing, but maybe not. Palette is bright and beautiful. I love it. And I just can't wait to get back to that too. And I will. I love it. Do it. I love flax. I think it's such a... Flax? Did I say flax? Yeah. Flax is such a pretty color. That's An Auriol by GGR. 8, 9. This was a Christmas project bag I made for myself with some, this is some poinsettia fabric from, I'll think of it later. Anyway, poinsettia, and then I lined it with red check. And, oh, I can't show you this one yet because it's not a, that's not a whip. Okay, it will be a whip. Okay, this one in my project bag that my fun, sweet friend Liz from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch made for me this year as a gift. Love, love, love. Favorite Lori Holt. I love my Lori Holt Christmas fabric. Cute little snowman charm. These are my miscellaneous Christmas starts that I put away and I will pick up next year. So one of them, there's 2 in here. One of them is Stacy Nash. It's an Animal Crackers. That's Whittaker. Cute snowman. I probably could have pushed through and finished him this year, but I got going on Christmas garden and couldn't stop. But again, it's going to be really fun when I pull him out this next, late fall and want to finish him. All I got is fill in to do. So he is being done on, I started him later. November, did I start? Yeah, I started him in November. That's by Stacy Nash, and this is 36 count Summer Khaki. And so that's one. I only have the 2 colors in there left that I have to fill in with. One is roasted marshmallow and one is apple cider. So those are the only 2 colors I need to finish that one. And then this one, I got a piddly little start on this year. I just couldn't get inspired. But I do love it. It is the Nativity Berry by Erica Michaels. And I have a beautiful piece of, let's see, when did I start this? I started this in December. And this is a 32 count linen called Nocturne. Really pretty. And again, I didn't get very inspired, so I only got a teeny start. And I'm using the DMCs. Really pretty. So those are both going to stay in my Christmas whips, and later on in 2021 I can pull those back out and will be thrilled that I have something already started and ready to go. Okay. And next is another project bag with some, this is a fabric from Le Chouan. That's how I was told to say it, so don't make fun of me. Looks like Lacian, but I think it said Le Chouan. And this is a flower sugar. They did a bunch of lines called flower sugar, and I made a quilt out of flower sugar fabrics. Oh, this is fun. This one, look at that beautiful fabric inside. That's flower sugar. This is such an exciting chart. I love this one. Christy and is it Barb from Indiana Barb on Instagram? We started this together, and we are hoping to finish this by Mother's Day, so I gotta remember that. But this is the Pink House Sampler by Plum Street. And I'm gonna put my mom's name here, and hopefully we can finish that by Mother's Day, which actually won't be too far from the 5th anniversary of my mom's death. And so I am doing this with all the called for overdyes and DMC. I think it was a combination of both. But look how beautiful. Love, love, love it. So pretty. Beautiful flosses. I am doing this one. Let's see. I started this in October? Nope. September? I started this at the end of September. And this is on 36 count flax with all the called for overdyes and DMC. And we have a hashtag for this, but I haven't used it in a while. It's called LOVE, L-U-V, for Mom 2020. And I figured out that the center of the, I don't usually start in the center, but the center was right in the pink house, so that's where I started. And it's beautiful. That's that crazy wacky color called Faded Rose by Gentle Arts, and some others mixed in there, but that's mostly the Faded Rose. But it goes from a pink to a brown. Anyway, I love that sampler, and we'll definitely be getting back to that this spring, so that hopefully I can finish that by Mother's Day. All right, let's see. We're winding down here. This one I started in September. This is pretty amusing. Okay. I started this one in October. This is another bag I made for myself with that cute, it's from that same crow quilt, but it had recipes on it. This is, of course, I'm not sure who didn't start this, but Feast of Friendship from Blackbird Designs. So I started that in October because everybody was stitching it, and it was so beautiful. I could not pass that up. And it's all tangled. Beautiful palette of colors. Look at all those. Love those. Those are all the called for overdyes. There's purple in there somewhere. Where's the purple? There's the purple. And I am stitching this on 36 count Liberty Gathering Gray by R&R, and there's my progress. So I put this away in November, I guess, and I'd finished all the blue in the house. And started on the roof. I'd done, that's all the border and the Feast of Friendship, and done the outline of the pumpkin. So again, this is going to be a great one to pull out maybe September and start working on that so I can have a fall finish and display that. Again, it's fun to pull these out, and I'm realizing I really love every single one of these and want to do them. Let's see. I go in that one. Okay, this is another project bag. This is some cute cherry fabric that was in my mom's stash. So I used it with some polka dots And this is a beautiful sampler that I just started, I think either November or December. I started it at the end of November. And it is a Hands Across the Sea, Amelia Jane Chandler, 1852. I love this one because it was really just it was a sampler, but it was charted in red and green, and so I just fell in love with that. So that is Hands Across the Sea, Amelia Jane Chandler. So that was a pretty recent release. And I chose, for my two colors, for my red and green, I chose Buckeye Scarlet, both Gentle Arts, and Dried Thyme. And they're just lovely. So Buckeye Scarlet and Dried Thyme. And I started this on, oh, okay, I didn't know I did that, on a 36 count vintage country mocha. So pretty. And there's my progress so far. I love those colors. I love that border. Really fun. So I still have this one out, and I'm still working on this one a little while longer before I put it away. I really love that. Amelia Jane Chandler, 1852. So I think that was the first Hands Across the Sea that I had started. I have another little gem that I haven't started, but I bought that one. So that one's still out. I'm still working on that one. This one is the one I'm spending the most time with recently. This is a kind of a tall bag I made. This is some Lori Holt fabric from Plum. It's got a pretty blue inside. I love that blue. So this one is Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais with dyed needle and thread. And I started this in November. And I've just been really working on this one because this I'm hoping for a January finish. To me, mine doesn't look terribly Christmassy. It might stay out all year. I don't know yet. Here's all my beautiful flosses, all the called for overdyes. I love them. Beautiful. The only one I changed is the house. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I was kind of hemming and hawing about what color to use. And so I tried the conch that was called for the house, and it just kind of felt blah and wasn't as pink as I was hoping the house was going to be. So I know in Brenda's picture it looks beautiful, and I know that, you know, I'm not fussing about her color choices, but you know, when you start buying your flosses and maybe your dye lot's a little different, or the linen that you choose to put it on, you know, so right, that's how we make it our own. So I did switch the conch. I stitched a little bit of both. My artist sister helped me, and I ended up choosing Meredith's pink. So you can see it's just it's still got that same tone to it, but it's got a little more pink, a little more variegation for the most part, and then a little pinkier. So I'm stitching this on 36 count Winter Moon. I think I said this before, but I remember ordering some Winter Moon. You know, sometimes it's nice to order a big piece of just some of the Zweigart flax or platinum, or and so I'd ordered this Winter Moon, and I remember when it came in the mail, and it was kind of like, it's okay. I'll probably never use it. And over and over again, I've used it all. It was a big piece, and I've cut it up, and it's being used all over the place. So this is 36 count Winter Moon, and here's my progress on Winter Rose Manor. I love how the Meredith's pink looks. I know some people have changed out the roasted marshmallow that's down here in the snow, but I actually kind of like how mine looks. And again, it's one of those things that I feel like will keep it from being a super wintry, Christmassy looking piece. So there, see the house, got that first cardinal done, I love it. And the roasted marshmallow down here. I love these flowers over here, and I love that little medallion. Just a beautiful. So I've got the border all done except for filling in some butts. And I'm really working on that house. That's a lot of pink house, but it's going pretty quickly. And I think sometimes filling in something like that is maybe isn't as fun when it's not in a color you're not loving. So if you're just sitting there filling in white, it's to me it's not real fun. But I love that pink. It's a beautiful pink, kind of like on that pink house sampler. It's just such a beautiful color. So I'm filling in the pink and just, I don't know, just delighting in seeing how the color comes out as I choose a new strand, and really loving it. So it's not a burden to fill that in when you're loving the color. And so sometimes I'll just switch out and maybe go work on a different part, go fill in some berries with a pretty red, or anyway, I'm loving that one. Like I said, I'm hoping I will finish this in January. I think I can, and frame that and have that up on the wall. It almost could feel a little Valentine-y too. So all right, I saved this WIP for last. This is the project bag with some Hobby Lobby fabric that I made for myself when I did my tutorial. And this is my longest standing WIP. I think so. Well, maybe the AHT. Consider the Lilies. I still love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I don't think any of y'all have seen this one in a while because I have not actually worked on that. Well, I worked on it 7 October, so since October I really haven't worked on it. But I started this back with Christy from Crosshatch Quilts. She and I started this on March 28th of this past year. And it was such a timely piece for all that was kind of going on as we started to be locked down with COVID, and just that scripture verse meant so much to me, you know, that consider the lilies of the field, that they do not, you know, spin, and yet our Heavenly Father takes care of them. And so how much more does He take care of us than He, you know, if He can take care of the lilies and the sparrow, which is her other pattern, if He's taking care of them, then how much more does He take care of His own children? And so it's that it offers hope, helps me to trust the Lord, and it's just a great reminder, and it will be a great reminder of this year. So I started it on March 28th. I will finish this by March 28th. Hold me to it. It's because right here you can put in your initials in the year, and I haven't done that yet, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put in 2020 because this was my biggest piece for 2020, and it has some significance. I don't want to over remember the pandemic in 2020, but I don't want to disregard it either. And so I'm going to go ahead, even though I will finish this in 2021, I will put 2020 on it. So consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. And these, there might be a couple I've stolen out of here too. Who knows? I'll try and put them back. When I use one, so like I haven't erased this one, but if I ever need to go steal a floss from another project, on my floss tag, I just put the initials of the project that I got it from. So I returned this one already to consider the Lilies. I just never did erase that. But I'll just put the initials of the project where it came from, so when I'm done with that project, I'll go put it back in the right project bag. So those are all the DMCs, and I just love everything about this. It's so beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at those. And y'all haven't seen this one in a while. I don't even know if I need to back up. That's why I saved it for last. Gosh, oh, I pull it out and I'm so excited. I need to be working on this. My goodness, it's so big. And I'm so proud of it. Look at that, guys. Look at that. I'm close. This is definitely doable. Definitely doable. I did this part up, well, I did the whole border and made sure it matched, which it didn't. Did the whole border in the green, came back and I worked a little bit up here. Then I came down here and I started on the house. Next, this is so big it's so hard to show, but bear with me. Started on the house, did the whole house, and then I worked my way this way. And then I did the green part so I could have some point of reference. And then after I did the green part, I came up top and started here and started working, filling all this in, moving this way to the tree and all this up here. Stopped that, got all that done, came down here and started working on this quadrant, working this way from the house. So that's where I left off, you can see right there. So I need to finish this and keep working on those flowers. They're such pretty colors. And then all I'll have left is that upper corner. So I think I can do this. I think I can finish this. I want to finish it. And I will probably have to have this one framed. So I have to save my money and get this one framed. I am stitching this on a great big piece. I can never remember if it's flax. Yes. So this is on a 36 count flax with all the DMC, and I'm stitching it 1/2. Absolutely love it. It's beautiful. So remind me, I need to be working on this one. All right, so those are all my WIPs. Doesn't count all those charts over there that I want to stitch, but I'd really like to finish some things before I start another. And so lastly here, I want to make a quick little tour through the few things I actually have completely kitted and are on my radar to start. Okay, so let me clean up a little and I'll be back. All right, isn't that pretty? That's really pretty. Okay, so kitted things. This is one I almost showed you, but I realized it wasn't a WIP. This is a Christmas bag. It had Christmas garden in it, and then I finished Christmas garden, and I decided to put a patriotic piece in my Christmas bag, because that's all I have. I'm not starting this until February, so maybe between now and February I will make myself a fun patriotic one. But my friend April, who is local to me here, and I are starting this in February. This is Salute to Abigail by Blackbird Designs in the book Sweet Land of Liberty. So I love that. Again, 4 colors. I was able to go to the L&S across town not too long ago, before Christmas, and I don't even have these on a ring yet because I haven't put them on there. But I was able to pick out 4 colors. They call for a silk thread gatherer, silk gatherer, thread gatherer silk. So they call for thread gatherer silk. So I was able to, I really didn't want to do it in silk, so I pulled, I tried to match the best I could. So I chose, and my son helped me, this is Weeks Dyeworks Turkish Red. Love it. I love the variegation. This is Weeks Dyeworks Blue Jeans for the lighter blue. Darker blue is Weeks Dyeworks Michael's Navy. Ooh, can't see that. That's better. And the creamy white, I went with Oatmeal by Gentle Arts. So those are my 4 colors, and I have a piece of 36 count raw natural Swagart linen, and that will be a February start, so I'm super excited about that. And I think April is doing like a Freedom February, which I thought was really cute, and maybe that'll be the time when I pick out maybe even another one of that one Southern Land with the red and the blue would be really fun to pick out at that point. All right, another one that is on my immediate radar, and it's completely kitted. I made another bag the other day of this cute orange fabric. Lined it with some Lori Holt. This is G. Leger. G. Leger. G. Leger. If it were Spanish, I could say it right. G. Leger, 1898. Love it. So beautiful. So I have this one ready to go. I have a piece of linen. Oh, I don't remember what I pulled for it. No, that's Vintage Country Mocha. That's right. I decided on 36 count Vintage Country Mocha, which actually has been a color I've had a hard time finding a use for. And these are all the, not the silks, but the over-dyed. And they're beautiful. And I'm going to stitch that on Vintage Country Mocha. So I was kind of thinking I'd start it right after Christmas, but I just decided that I have 2 New Year New Starts and I could wait on this one just a little bit. Maybe sometime in January or March, or I don't know. But that one's kitted up and ready to go. So it will go here because it is a very, very soon future WIP. So I really love the idea of a New Year New Start. Who wouldn't? So my friend Lisa and I, Lisa is Frenzy Fingers on Instagram. She and I had been so waiting for the new, no, I didn't put a picture in here. I will insert a picture right here. That is Webb from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. Webb 1829. And this came out just a week or so before Christmas. And I mean, she and I we'd been waiting for it, and we bought it and printed it off and started gathering all our supplies. So I finally decided on a linen, and again, here we go. Winter Moon is the winner. So here we are doing all the DMCs, and they are beautiful. So these are all the DMCs for Webb, and we are starting this on Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. Look at that blue. What is that? That is $37.50. That's one of the ones I had to buy. But look at those colors. And I'm putting this on Winter Moon. I'm super excited to start this one. It is just calling to me. I'm having a hard time not starting it. So hopefully Lisa and I will get a start on that on New Year's Eve. We'd love for you to stitch along with us. We have not come up with a clever hashtag yet, but I'll link it down below when we think of one, and also you can watch on Instagram and see what we come up with. So that's my New Year's Eve new start. And then my New Year's Day, oh, there's another bag. This is April Showers fabric from Bonnie and Camille. This is my New Year's Day new start. And Christy from Crosshatch Quilts and I are ready to start this. I'm so excited. It is gorgeous. This is by the Scarlet House. This is called the Smith Sampler. So, had to pause for a minute. That is Smith Sampler. It's beautiful. Gosh, that border is to die for. I love all the motifs. I think the only over one is right in there. And it says Smith. So, I think I can handle that. Beautiful. So, I think Christy is doing hers with the silks. And I'm doing mine with the DMC, which are beautiful. I love the overdyes, but sometimes you put together, look at that. That dusty purple, I don't know what you call it. Look at those colors. They are just stunning. So those are all my colors for Smith Sampler. And it was really hard, but I finally chose my friend Chrissy, who's local, and we had the best time. I got her back into cross stitch. It's all my fault, Mr. Color. So I chose, oh, that's not showing up too well. Can you see it? That is Nantucket Brew. R&R, 36 count Nantucket Brew. Nantucket Brew? I think so. And every color looks really pretty on there. So I'm really excited about that. So Christy and I will be starting that on January 1st. New Year's Day. New start. Aren't they all pretty on there? Love that. So what you do not see in all the WIPs is all the charts that I've bought and that I really want to stitch. A couple of these were Christmas presents, so I was really excited. And this is definitely going to be one that I start this spring. Miss Lucy Calcutt, 1825. My husband gave me this one for Christmas, and I'm super excited. She's a big girl, but she's gorgeous. Look at those colors. Super excited. That is by Just Stitching Along, and I'm really excited about that one. So I have two different baskets. I know mine really comparatively is a small stash compared to people like Carol, Saltbox Stitcher, and Brenda, and Laura. I idolize their collections. I'm working on it. But I've only been back in cross stitch for a little over a year, so I'd say I'm doing pretty good. So I have this one container that I bought at Hobby Lobby, and it holds a bunch of my charts. Let me see if there's anything else in here I want to show you. I got this one from my husband for Christmas, the Bells on Christmas Day. Love that. So excited to get that. Let's see. What else in here is, oh, this is going to have to be a start this year. Strawberry Sampler. This is From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. Love that. Love the colors. That's something I want to start this year. Here's one I don't know why I haven't started yet because I love it. My Heart Can Rest by Blackbird Designs. Maybe this will be a 2021. Finally, can my heart rest in 2021? Of course, I got my sewing club book in here. Projects in there I want to stitch. This I'd gotten for my birthday. I love they don't have the reproduction chart, but the strawberry sampler. I love that. Oh, I love this one too. One of my favorite hymns. Let's see. Here I have some like freebies that I've printed off or downloads. Another Hands Across the Sea. Here's the AH to EE that I showed in my WIPs. I don't have much farther to go on that either. Let's see, what else is calling me in here? I also have in the back here some of the charts that I've finished. Okay, so that's one. And then I have another bucket from Hobby Lobby. And this one has some of my smaller patterns in it. And in here, there's some definite starts. This is going to be a definite spring start. Rabbit Hollow Farm by Stacy Nash. Definitely stitching that this spring. I have all the colors already. I bought this one just recently. This is a 2021 start for sure. Ann Peg, 1877. Love the colors, the border, the verse. I hear the Savior say, thy strength indeed is small. Child of weakness, watch and pray. Find in me thine all in all. And he really needs to be our all in all, Jesus. Let's see. I want to do this one. This is Life on Sampler Hill from Scarlet House. I think I have all the threads for that too. You know, you start looking through it and you think, this is one I really want to do. The Crown Bird sampler from Plum Street. Again, just beautiful. I love the border and the house. And I love the verse on here. That's why I bought it. Lord, guide my heart that I may do thy will and fill my hands with such convenient skill. as will conduce to virtue, void of shame, and I will give the glory to thy name. This is going to have to be a fall start. My husband bought me that one for my birthday autumn gifts. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I know you all do this, right? I want to stitch all of them. I think I'll have to pull this one out in the spring and make a small, because I think he's just the cutest ever. I have some patriotic smalls that I want to do. And the list goes on and on. This will be a fall start for sure. For fall. George decorates for Martha, the new one that Plum Street just put out. I love that one. That one's in my gotta start and gotta make it. A few Christmas ones. There's the rest of my sampler Aux Bouquet that I showed you in my, if you look real close, you can see the whole, that's what the whole thing will look like when it's all in one piece. So I'm working, this is I'm working on part 3 down here, and I'm working that way. So those are the rest of those. So anyway, that doesn't count all the things I want too. It's never ending, right? So anyway, I'm super excited about 2021 and all my WIPs, which I'm really happy I can look at all my project bag glory now sitting out. I just wanted to add this little video in. I thought you might be interested in seeing what my little setup is when I'm stitching downstairs in my stitching chair in the family room. This works for me. I've been doing this for quite a few months now, and I'm just really happy with it. So this is actually just a lap desk that kind of see here, just a black plastic. It's kind of got a beanbag rest there and several different heights. A little, this flips down, you can rest your chart on there. I'd actually bought this for my son for college, and he brought it back home and said he didn't use it, so I took it, and I'm glad I did. So like I said, I can rest my chart right here. This sits in my lap, and then I have added magnets to it. So right here are a couple magnets. I used to just have these 2 magnets, and then I added another one. You can see I messed up with my glue, but they're just glued on with some Loctite super glue. And these are some Lori Holt magnets that I have. I got these years ago from Fat Quarter Shop, I believe. And so I use these here. I usually use my favorite, these are my favorite scissors, and scissor fob that was gifted to me, so those go there. And then recently I added another little magnet right here, and this is where I put my needle. I used to put my needle over here, but it would kind of get too close to the scissors, and I actually would end up losing them more often because I'd drop it. So if I need to put my needle down, I put it there. And then I have this hook. This is just one of those 3M command hooks. I used to have it attached with the sticky stuff, but then that came off, and so I just thought, well, I'm just going to glue it on there. And so I can take my floss ring, and it hangs on here while I'm stitching. And this is one of my needle tags. When I put the project away for the evening, my needle goes in there. And so this just sits on my lap, and it's really just been a perfect way for me to stitch. Join us for our New Year New Starts. Again, I will put a hashtag for Webb. If anyone is starting Webb from Hands Across the Sea Samplers, I was kind of thinking maybe I need to talk to Lisa, but maybe friends stitching Anne. I don't know. I'll come up with something. Or she'll come up with something. And then, so that's my New Year's Eve New Start. And then also join me on, Christy and I, on New Year's Day for a Smith Sampler. I know some of you have already said that you're going to join us. I think we said sisters, no, Stitching Sisters Smith Sampler. I'll put it here or put it down below. So I am so thankful at the end of this year. I started, let me look, trusty calendar again. If I were only so organized with my everyday life, if I were only so organized with my cleaning, but I'm not. I keep a neat and tidy house and organized, I like that, but I'm not the best at making sure I clean. It's clean, it's not dirty. I just don't like to dust. I don't like to dust. Okay. I started my first floss tube on July 23rd, so I can't count. So it's August, September, October, November, December. So it's been 5 months since I started my first floss tube video. And in those 5 months, it has just been so much fun to do these videos and read your comments and watch your videos, those of you who also have floss tube videos. And having more stitchers follow me on Instagram and following stitchers on Instagram. And this has just got to be one of the, I don't know, just a very generous, loving, encouraging community. Not that I didn't have friends, or I have my friends at church, I have my friends here locally, and they're fabulous. I love them dearly, and no one will ever replace that. But to add to that has just been such a blessing. And so it has been a real pleasure to do these videos, and I look forward to continuing them in 2021. It's been fun to make a few of you are even closer friends now. You know who you are, and I'm blessed by your friendship and the fact that we get to message each other throughout the weeks, and just makes me really happy. And so I'm thankful that the Lord has blessed me with more friends and with this beautiful hobby, and thankful that I get to share this here with you, and that you allow me to talk about my faith and my love for Jesus Christ. And I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. In the church, in the liturgical year, it's actually Christmas right now. Everything up until Christmas is the season of Advent, and then we have a period of days, the octave of Christmas, that follow Christmas Day. So we don't put our Christmas away just yet, and we still love wishing Merry Christmas. And at the end of this week, we will enter into the new year. I'm not sure how much different 2021 is going to look than 2020. But what I do know is that Christ is sufficient for all my circumstances. So even if 2021 looks just like this year, or if it's worse, or if it's better, that my trust is in Him, and I can have confidence in His care for me no matter what, and all His situations, whatever He finds for me to do or be, or whatever situations I'm in, I can have confidence in Him and His care. And so I wish you a happy new year. I hope you have fun and stay safe while you're celebrating. We do burgers this year, and every New Year's Eve we do a fire in the fire pit, and we make s'mores, and so we'll be doing that again this year. And lots of stitching, I hope. So I will be back, I think, next Thursday after the new year to show you the progress I made on my New Year New Starts, and hopefully some progress on Winter Rose Manor, and maybe even consider the Lilies, because I'm feeling pretty encouraged about that one. So until then, God bless you, and have a wonderful, happy New Year. And thank you for all your comments. I love reading your comments, and thank you for liking and subscribing, and it's just been so much fun. So Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I will see you hopefully next week.